Well, Havards has been a local shop for many years, and my parents has used it before me. We've used it ourselves, and it will be a great pity if this shop closes in the community. There's so many shops closing, and we are hoping that Havards will be able to remain open for the future. Buying coats for the farm, materials that are used for the farm from day to day. Fencing materials, staples and nails, everything like that that's used for the farm. With every shop that closes, you've got to go further to buy the materials.
My name is Brian, and I've lived in Newport all my life. I've used Havards regularly since the time I can remember, same as my parents. And it will be a great shame if it closes and is turned into another holiday home or a cafe or a restaurant, because there seems to be plenty of them in Newport at the moment, and it's so convenient to use for little everyday things.
Well, I just find it such a useful shop. It's only a quarter of an hour's walk from here, and the variety of stuff in it that I've bought over the years we've lived here, that's 13 years, is amazing. I mean, whether it's clothes, my hat, my shoes, wellies for my granddaughter, stuff for the kitchen, light bulbs, matches. You know, the first place you think of if you run out of something useful is Havards.
So I've just bought my wheelbarrow in Havards, which is so much better than having to go to Haverfordwest or Abertavy. And what I really like is when I need a new blade for the saw, you can just buy the blade for the saw in Havards. You don't want to go to one of the big stores and buy a whole new saw every time and throw the old one away. And that's what we need. You need somewhere local that you can buy these things.
All right.
Yes.
I'll say turn around then and then.
I'd just like to put my support behind keeping Havards as a local ironmongers. As a local tradesman, I've used Havards all my working life, and I think it'd be a pity for it to leave Newport and we'd end up with a restaurant or a cafe or another gallery. I think it's important for the working people of Newport to have somewhere where they can pick up supplies to enable them to keep the tradition of local supplies for local builders.
Well, I use Havards because it's really convenient to come here, and it saves me a lot of grief about going out of town, and it's really handy for my gardening stuff and whatever, and building trade as well. I have to get some materials from here which are very handy at times, and it's really good for paint, which do little jobs with, and paint the boat and whatever, and otherwise I have to go to Haverfordwest to go and get it, you know.
Yeah. Well, we use it like 2-3 times a month. Yeah, maybe just 4 times a month. We go there for just to get bits, bobs, paint, filler for the houses and stuff, or whatever. Yeah. For boats, there's fishing gear there. Yeah, fishing. All for everything, bait, everything. Crab lines, all sorts. It's all sorts for everybody to use, to whoever wants it, isn't it? It's all there.
We are catered extremely well for in the food and the pubs. We are able to retain shops such as Havards. The loss of our culture, the vibrancy of the town will be affected greatly, and also will be retaining the employment and hopefully extending on that. That is another problem for youngsters in the town. They can't get jobs, and a lot of them are moving out.
It's devastating if we didn't have it in the community. It really would be. You know, it'd be really devastating. It's an integral part of the high street there. It brings people into Newport as well, so it'd be really sad to see it go. Another thing about Havards is He sells some fantastic stuff for the summer. Obviously, it gets very, very busy in the season. Newport, very busy place. They sell wetsuits, buckets and spades, swimming trunks, everything you all need for being on holiday, basically. And it's really very useful for the town. And I know a lot of people who use it. A lot of people come down and they sort of head straight away through Havards to get their stuff ready for the holiday. So yeah, it's a really good place to be, really.
It brings in people here who may not stop as they're driving through, and from that aspect it affects all of the other businesses that are in the town. So not only is it for us locals an important business, but it's for everybody, and it's a fantastic shop. I was born and brought up in Newport, and we've always had it here, and it's definitely worth everything to us. In addition to that, of course, it provides a lot of business to holidaymakers that come here. Newport's a very important place for tourists, and it's one of those landmarks on the high street as you're driving through or walking down, all the colourful balls and buckets and spades, very much the essence of Newport. And it's very eye-catching, and we really have to fight to keep that on our high street in Newport. It's important for everybody.
Hi, I've lived in Newport all my life, and I've always shopped in Havards when I need screws or just bits and pieces and bulbs and things, and I will certainly miss it if it closes. And it's a pity to lose all these local shops in Newport. I think things should be done about it. There's a lot of shops in Newport that have closed over the years. I would hate half of Havards to go, and Newport will become a ghost town if it carries on the way it's going.
Okay, I firmly believe that this ironmonger's, Havards, is a real asset, and I would hate to see it go. I'm very reliant on it because I do all sorts of odd jobs, not for money, just for pleasure. So long may it thrive.
The other thing about Havards, of course, is that it's one of the last, if not the last, shop from when we were kids, when we had all sorts of different shops there. We had, I think, 2 or maybe 3 paper shops. We had 2 clothes shops. You could buy records on the square from the electrical place. There were all sorts of things. There was 2 or 3 or 4 grocers about the place, 2 butchers, and this is one of the last of those. And if it goes, well, the soul will be going out of Newport. It's going out now, but Havards it's like a hub for so many people. Local builders, people who just want to get spares for things, light bulbs, fuses, all sorts of stuff. We're going to be at a loss without it. There's no doubt about it.
I'd also like to add that Havards is an all-year-round business, and I'd like to see it create employment for a start. This would be good, and it would be a great shame to see the village town quietly die.